Good morning, everyone. Thanks for meeting with me today. I'm just going to let in some of the participants. Very nice to see you again. Let's begin by getting into our mindful body. It's choosing an easy but straight posture, something that we can hold for the duration of our practice today. Let's begin with the anchor of sound. Let's take a moment to notice the different sounds that are coming from within our own body. So turning our focus within. Listening to the sound that our own bodies make is like talking to an old friend that we haven't heard from in a while. And just enjoying those small little details, all the while, as we notice, offering compassion, open-heartedness, to this old friend, our bodies. It's the old friend that carries us through this journey, our perfect, imperfect bodies. Inhaling deeply as we prepare to extend our attention to the sounds outside of our own bodies. Listening for the sounds in the room where we're practicing. Here I've got the fireplace crackling. I got the dogs scratching a little bit. I hear the fridge. What do you hear in your practice room? All of the information is welcome. As we slow down into stillness of the present moment. Just giving our attention to all these small details that normally we take for granted. Noticing the feeling of calmness and stillness that it may bring to our current mental state. Notice our breathing slowing down as we slow down our mind's racing thoughts. And bringing our awareness to the breath, noticing the rise and fall of the torso. Allowing the belly to fully relax. Let's place a hand on the belly to assist with this anchor. And just noticing our hand as it rests on the belly, rising and falling along with the belly. All the while feeling gratitude and compassion for this ability we have to breathe. Breathing easily. Let's inhale for a count of 4. And hold for 4. And now exhale for 4. And again, inhale for 4. And hold for 4. And this time, when we exhale, let's try to count to 8. And then last time, inhale for 4 and hold, exhale for 8. The practice for the last several weeks has focused upon my participant and listener mailbag questions about how to keep it together in tough times when we want to have control over our stress response, but circumstances may be getting worse and it's getting harder to do that. And so where that's showing up is difficulty falling asleep, difficulty staying asleep, and just an overall level of low-grade stress that we're sitting in, a real sense of the beginnings of flight, fight. We're constantly worrying, we constantly feel under threat, we feel at war with the people around us. So how can we as meditators mitigate that? Our first couple classes focused on the mindfulness of where stress settles in the body and allowing that to be released. And so we focused on the shoulders, the belly, the face, and just the physical manifestations of that low-grade flight-fight. How can we allow that to be released with deliberate use of the breath? Next, we had used awareness of our thoughts and just keeping track of the thoughts that arise and allowing them to pass as well. We'd also applied a breath mantra of safety, ease, and power, where we release thoughts that don't serve, and with each inhalation remind ourselves of the thoughts that are true and helpful, that we are strong, that we are safe. So today, let's continue this. We're going to poke around with the emotions today rather than the thoughts. So thoughts will come first and are easier to identify. The emotions are what is underpinning the thought. And so how do we feel? Are we stewing in fear, shame, worry? And so that's what we're looking for as we sit and breathe. So I invite you to join me as we inhale and exhale. Please feel free to incorporate any of the anchors we have used in our practice. The body scan, where we relax certain body parts that may be collecting tension. The breath, where we inhale and exhale, reminding ourselves that we are safe and resilient. Sound, sight, any of the anchors of sense that allow us to focus deeply within. I'm just calling upon, we want to be able to see and feel and understand any of the emotions that may be underpinning our thoughts, our attack thoughts on ourselves and others. And just noticing what these may be as we sit together. Are we worried about the future? about our ability to provide for ourselves and our families, worried about our health, do we feel afraid that we can't navigate what's coming? Do we feel shame over mistakes we may have made, or decisions we have made, or actions we haven't taken that we could have taken? So generally, our emotions related to this topic, and that is developing resilience in times of stress, are pretty primal. They have to do with fear, shame, worry. And so, one of those flavors will arise as we sit together and practice. Rather than trying to block any of our emotions, we are definitely under a lot of cultural pressure to block like unhappy emotions or angry emotions and be happy all the time, right? So let's be real. Let's take a look at what's actually there. Let's inhale into whatever painful emotion may arise and exhale. Next week, we will explore some mantras and strategies for the inhalation and exhalation around any painful emotions that may arise. But in today's practice, let us focus our attention on the simple awareness and sitting with any painful emotions that arise. It is our human instinct to try to avoid those, suppress them, deny them, and so they're not brought to light, and anything that is in the dark festers and amplifies. And we want to develop the capacity to sit with those, and as we do, as we inhale and exhale through those, our body understands that facing those painful emotions does not, in fact, crush us. We develop tolerance and resilience and awareness. All right, let's try it together. Coming back to the anchor of breath, all the while inhaling and exhaling. Breath supports and withstands all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly. So let's bring it on. Emotions arise that may be uncomfortable, noticing where you feel them in the body. Perhaps it's the belly, perhaps it's the heart. And wherever that is, lay your hand for the next breath. And just notice the sense of support and comfort that the laying on of hands provides us. Let's sit with this for a couple moments longer before we wrap up today's practice. I invite you over the week to sit with your painful emotions, inhaling and exhaling through them, with the understanding that this is pretty therapeutic. We are building the tolerance to sit with what we think is the worst of us. We are building acceptance and self-compassion, but also we learn that facing these emotions, it doesn't harm us. It doesn't make things worse. In fact, if we bring any painful emotions to light, we can generally develop awareness and a strategy for making better decisions. Thank you for joining with me today. I wish you a wonderful week. Please continue sending in your questions and ideas that we can use to guide our practice. They are always welcome. Thank you so much, and look forward to being with you again soon. Bye-bye.